the south of France riding the new Triumph Rocket 3 Storm. We have the GT Storm on my left and the R on the right. And these bikes have been updated. These bikes came out in 2019, kind of reset the bar. There was an earlier version that was kind of agricultural. These ones really stepped up the game. Something like 19,000 of them have been sold in those years, which is quite a big number for such an expensive bike. The R is 25,000, the GT is 25,795, and they're kind of ridiculous. It seems weird that a major motorcycle company would come out with these bikes because they have a giant motor, the biggest motor in a production motorcycle, 2,453 cc's, nearly 2.5 liters. So we've got a massive engine and this thing shouldn't work. It's too big, the tires are too fat, except the funny thing is Triumph was able to make these things work. Now, it's not quite a street triple or even a speed triple, but we're riding on some twisty roads today and going around some pretty hair-raising corners, and we're going fast. There are no slouches in the corners. And then when it's time to eat up the straightaways, we now have 180 horsepower. That's up 15 over the previous generation. And they got that pretty much just with electronic tuning. No new cams, no new throttle bodies, just new tuning. I was told that the previous generation, the throttle valves didn't open up to 100%, and now they felt that there was no trouble with reliability, so we've got a full 100% of throttle valve opening. 180 horsepower, 166 pound-feet of torque, so that's more than any other production motorcycle. Premium finishes on these bikes, new with these Storm versions, are black finishes, which look really kind of sinister. It adds an element of appeal to these bikes. And the premium finishes continue throughout. Even just the bar end mirrors, they've got aluminum brightwork on the end. Cruise control is standard, heated grips are standard on the GT. 6-axis IMU to handle traction control. Hill hold assist, so you don't roll backwards down a hill while you're waiting at a traffic light. And it's really a fantastic motorcycle. I shouldn't like these bikes. I like smaller, lighter motorcycles. And with 66 inches between the wheels, these are large motorcycles. And you'd figure that they wouldn't work, but they actually do. Carried forward is the bug-eye headlights that came out in the speed triples decades ago. And that carries forward here. Got new wheels for the Storm versions, about a pound less on the front and a pound less on the rear. Helps with its agility, perhaps, but boy, that's a 150 millimeter section front tire, and that's fat, and it's kind of pales in comparison to the 240 millimeter wide rear tire, which is massive. I might like a bit narrower front tire. We didn't even reach the edges of the tread on the front tire, even though we're scraping foot pegs. The GT has mid-mount foot pegs, and they're adjustable over a 15 millimeter range, which is nice to have that choice. And the GT has more forward-mounted pegs, and they're adjustable to 3 positions over a 2-inch span. And so again, it's nice to have that adjustability to get the bike to fit you. The GT is a little bit lower seat height, just under 30 inches, and the R is a little over 30 inches. And the premium finishes continue also on the tank. The fuel cap is brushed aluminum, got a tank strap which is aluminum. The coolant tank is another brushed aluminum piece, and the oil tank. So when you are taking a close look at these bikes and you're thinking $25,000, well, they look like they are $25,000 bikes because all the finishes support that price. Along with the 6-axis IMU, we've got Brembo Stylema front brake calipers, which are some of the best in the business. And with the IMU, we also have cornering ABS, traction control, got 4 ride modes. And more nice finish details is in the exhaust headers. They're hydroformed, so they're really a nice looking shape, and it just adds to the whole upper end appeal of these bikes. Front suspension, fully adjustable, a big heavy bike. It shouldn't go over bumps as well as this does, and yet I was surprised. Surprised by the handling, surprised by the suspension, and let's finish it off with the motor because there is nothing else like it. 3 cylinders, 2.5 liters, all kinds of power, the deepest well of power in motorcycling from a production engine. So the Triumph Rocket 3 Storm is an upgrade over the previous version, which was already a really nice motorcycle, and this just takes it to another level. 25 grand, that's a lot of money, but when you look up and down these bikes, that MSRP looks worthwhile. I shouldn't like this bike as much as I do, and yet I kind of love this bike. Maybe I wish it was a bit smaller, but boy, there's nothing else like it. And if you're like a Harley guy and seeing bikes that are like, whoa, they're nearly 2 liters of displacement now, this is nearly 2.5 liters. We hope you like this video. If you do, give it a like. Rider Magazine will have a full report on both these models, and give us a comment and let us know what you think of the Triumph Rocket 3.